everyone. This is the Gallivanting Hikers, and this is Dilly Dally and...
Trouble.
Yeah, we might be in trouble today.
For sure.
So, we're not on our typical hike that you've been seeing us do, but today we're actually, the rain is off and on. It's in the low 50s to high 40s, and our objective today is...
Test the new ZPack tent.
Yeah.
Triplex. And also test out some of the quilts.
Yeah. So we're really excited to test out our new ZPack triplex tent. So that's our objective. It's not hiking at all, really. We're only going in, about a mile. And we'll set up the tent and have dinner, test out our sleeping system, and then wake up tomorrow morning, pack everything up, and come back out. So we're excited to figure out the ZPack tent.
Yeah, wish me luck. I hope to stay out of trouble.
So we'll take you along. So see you on the trail.
Have a good day.
So we found our campsite for the evening, and what we typically will do is walk around the campsite and try to pick the best spot that we can. We look for flat ground, ground that may that doesn't have too many rocks. You're always going to find rocks, and then we try to remove some of the branches. So this is the spot. You really can't tell on the video, but it's fairly spot. It's the best that we can do. So what Trouble is doing right now, he's staking down the ground floor. And as you can see, it's really windy. Okay, Trouble is setting up the tent, and he's loosely staking the corners. So after Trouble staked out the ground cloth, he took the tent and he staked out the four corners. Let's see if I can show you here. So all four corners. And now he's going to put the pole in. Gonna make the guide wire taut on one side of the door. Okay, so now Toval has put on the other tracking pole. It's set at 48 inches. He's going to stake the guide wire. Okay, everyone. This is the first time we're out with the ZPack tent. And so what Trouble has done is he has set it up. And I just want to show you, it's very windy today. You see the ZPack label here? And then there's another one on this side. And this is the side you're supposed to face into the wind so that the wind goes up and over. Okay, I'm looking at Trouble to make sure I have this right. So now what he did was he took one side, because this is a triplex, so there's double doors. He put the pole up, the hiking pole up to support it. This side is open. And I think he did a pretty good job as far as having the tent taut. Okay, so now I've been directed to show you the other side. But this side he has closed. And what he tells me is, do you see this? And what is this supposed to do?
Keep the wind and rain out.
Oh, to keep the wind and rain out.
When it's blowing.
So we have a lot to practice with this tent. Like you said, we had the Agnes for years, and we're looking forward to learning this. But with a couple of more campouts, we'll get this down set. Okay, we think we're finished with the tent. The last piece was to take the guide wires, and this is a pole support?
Yeah, to help pull the sides out.
I don't know. It's a bit for a first attempt.
Oh no!
Just remember, this is our lesson learned. You don't take a new tent out when it's super windy.
We did want to test it in the wind.
I know, and actually, it's our lucky day because the rain stopped. So it could be worse. It could be windy and the rain and setting up a new tent. But we're very grateful. So, all right. So now we'll set up the camp and start to have dinner. By the way, Trouble has said, don't select the day that it's very windy to practice on this for the first time. You should have saw this tent flapping in the wind and the two of us having to get it down. That's why I couldn't really videotape it, because I had to help Trouble. So we're going to set up our camp, and hopefully this came out okay. I just got to show you this wind that we're having this evening. Well, hello everyone. We wanted to give our thoughts on the ZPack tent and also our sleeping system. The other night when we went camping, it was the first time we used that ZPack tent. So, tell us what you think about it.
Well, so when we were setting up the tent, it was very windy, but you're going to have trouble setting up any tent in the wind. So that took a little longer. But basically the process we followed was the one recommended by ZPack, where you stake the four corners, put your poles up, do your tensioning and do that. And, with going around doing some of the tensioning, all the stakes were well set and it was good. So that was good, and we did good. So how did you think about the interior?
Well, let me go back to the wind. You really have to hold on to that tent in the wind, because it was, you'll see in the video, it was like flapping. So, but it is, and also when we watched the videos, they said to put the stakes in your pocket, which was a very good idea.
Yeah.
So the interior, for me, it's smaller than the copper spur, Big Agnes copper spur. But it's durable, and listen, you can't beat that weight. So we're going to need a lot more practice with it. The one thing that I found is my sleeping pad kept slipping during the night against the floor of the ZPack and the pad, and we were on flat ground.
Yeah. So I again, with any new piece of equipment, you need to basically learn it and do new processes. A little shout out to Rich from the Vintage Hikers. Yeah. He's sort of mentoring me on some of the things that he learned in doing, and we'll be trying those and hopefully get to share them on the next video.
Yeah. We have a lot more practice with that tent. But overall, it was good. It was in the low 40s. We did tie the doors together. Is that what it,
yeah.
Like hook them so that the wind wouldn't come through. And it did have a spurt of rain during the night, and we didn't get any condensation or rain in our tent at all. And I woke up several times during the night because I was just curious, and I would touch the walls of the tent to make sure that there was no condensation, but we did fine. Placing our gear in that tent, that's something that we have to learn, because we were used to, with the copper spur, to lay everything on the bottom. We had a lot of pockets, and so we're going to be practicing that even before we do our overnight trips, setting up the tent and just seeing how we could lay out our gear.
Yeah, which sort of takes you into the sleeping system.
Oh, yeah, the sleeping system. So it was in the low 40s. Now, this is what we brought. We have an Enlightened Equipment Zero quilt.
Two-person.
A two-person, and we have a single person. We had the Thermarest sleeping pad, right?
Yep.
In wide, two of them. And Larry bought a third one. I sleep very, very cold. So initially I had the sleeping pad and my 0 degree single quilt on. And I went into the quilt warm. I had down booties. I had, what else did I have? The Darn Tough socks on. I had 250 merino leggings and a merino top and a Malazano, what would you call it, a hoodie. And I went to bed warm, but before I knew it, I started getting a real chill. So what Larry had done was he bought an extra sleeping pad, and so I actually slept on two sleeping pads.
After you were cold, we switched it out. We switched it out.
And believe it or not, almost immediately I got warm. So I'm thinking it's actually the sleeping pad that my body heat is getting drawn into the ground. And do you remember what our R value is? It's 4 point something?
3.5.
Oh, it's only a 3.5?
Yep.
Okay. And we do want to get the other pad that has a higher R rating. What was the name of that one?
The X-Therm.
The X-Therm.
6.9.
And that has an R rating of 6.9, which is very warm. But we want it in regular wide, and it's out of stock. There's nowhere to be found. We looked all over, and we don't want to get it unless it's a wide, because both of us are side sleepers. But I slept on both of them, And I did fine. I really did fine. Now, this is low 40s. So if we don't get the other sleeping pad that has the higher R value, I might be bringing 2 sleeping bags. I know that's sleeping pads. I know that sounds crazy, but if it kept me warm, I think next week or the week after, at some point, it's going to go down to the 30s, and that's really what I'm looking for. I actually would like to go down to the 30s and then into the 20s to see if these 2 pads will help me. It's going to be extra weight, but I don't see any other way I can do it without it.
Right. I mean, that the whole strategy of switching the tent was give us the ability to carry additionally either sleeping or insulation, higher R values.
Yeah. And I have just a unique situation that I really sleep very, very cold. So if you have to have it, you have to have it. And of course, once it gets warmer, then we'll send back the one of the sleeping pads, and I'll only use the one. So what else would you say? We learned a lot.
Yeah,
every time we go.
I mean, that's enough to be working on.
So we have the tent actually now set up in our basement, just so that we can get into it and start looking at where we're going to put our gear. And we'll keep working on it, and we'll share the video the next time we go out and use our ZPack tent. But I'm glad we bought it.
Oh, no. Look, it's the right decision. We need to figure it out. Probably more importantly is we got to figure out, how it's going to perform in the rain.
Yeah, we have to get out in the rain.
Sort of protecting that bathtub. It looks like it's going to be interesting because, as you mentioned, we slide a lot.
Yeah,
you slide a lot.
I slide a lot. I felt like I was on a surfboard. Woo-hoo!
Goodbye, Kev.
All right, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the trail.
See ya.